Welcome back, 6:46 on Daybreak. And the Michigan Street Bridge has a new addition this morning. It's a sign bearing the name of a man credited with saving the lives of 86 people over half a century of working the waters of the Buffalo Harbor.
An unknown story of Western New York revealed through the hard work of a man who was just trying to find out a little more about his family history.
On a recent morning in the Old First Ward, I met up with 3 generations of the Crosby family to talk about an event that celebrates a generation gone by.
Great-great-grandfather Stephen Barret was an Irish immigrant back in 1833. He came over along with the other Irish immigrants looking for work in the canal building and the grain mills.
Kyle Crosby says his great-great-grandfather started his life, like many other Irish immigrants, on the shores of Lake Erie in a shanty community called the Island, or the Beach, and he worked hard to elevate his social standing.
He was a ferryman, a fisherman. He was also a harbor operator as well.
This journey of family discovery actually began with a clipping about the tragic end of Stephen Barrett's life.
I found a news article on him, and it was stated that he fell in the harbor and drowned back in 1898.
So that pushed Kyle to dive into his family's story a little deeper. And as he looked, like the ripples in the water of the Buffalo River, the articles just kept coming.
He was actually a real famous lifesaver at the time, who saved over 86 people from drowning in the Buffalo Harbor and recovered more than 200 bodies as a diver for what was then called the Volunteer Life-Saving Service, which was a precursor to our modern U.S. Coast Guard.
He found out that his great-great-granddad was a bona fide hero.
The list just goes on and on. There was dozens and dozens of articles talking about it.
He thought those heroics should be remembered and honored, so he contacted City Hall and ultimately got them to agree as well. On Sunday, this Trailblazers sign was unveiled on the approach to the Michigan Street Bridge, coincidentally in the shadow of a General Mills smokestack that still bears the name Crosby. Kyle hopes that this sign and his story will serve as an inspiration to others.
And hopefully people will be inspired by doing it and start looking in their own history and find some of their own amazing stories that they didn't know existed.